Hi, it's Robin here from the Good Place Bench. And one of the favorite objects used here at Utopian Hours. Because it's been full on, talking to inspiring, I'd say, I love to call them change makers, people that are invested in, you know, creating livable cities. And I think next to me, I have someone who is keen to share his story about, you know, is it a utopia or is it real?
Yeah, thanks. Is it a utopia or is it real? I mean, it's interesting. I think last time I did Utopian Hours with this festival, it's 2024 in Turin,
Yeah.
and I got asked by someone, what is a utopian city? Or like, what's your ideal utopian city? It's something I've been thinking about a lot, but I actually don't think there is a true utopia. Everyone has a different perspective of what a city should be,
Yeah.
what they want it to be. And I think when I was 20, I had a very different perspective of what I wanted a city to be and how I would use a city compared to now in my 40s. So I don't know if there is an exact utopia.
Already when you were 20?
Well, I wanted the city to be more fun and partying. I'm too old for that now. Now I'm in bed by like 9 p.m. It's very, very different. But I think that there is, I think again, everyone has a different perspective of what the utopia is. But I think what we strive as city makers, or for us as landscape architects, strive for equity and bringing nature and public realm to everyone and accessible to everyone. We were just talking about the, success of Bryant Park and people playing table tennis and the energy that brings and forming these little communities within there. We're also talking about nature being this place that you can come and kind of decompress and mental health and all things like that. So I think, not thinking about a utopia as like this perfect thing, but adding these elements in there where people can have their daily life and their civic life unfold in a healthy way, promoting social activity, which I think is very important. I think during COVID, we realized how important that was when we're all kind of put up in our apartments or wherever. Promoting health of being close to nature, and then also creating a healthy ecosystem, not just for people, but for plants, for animals and things like that. So, again, I don't think there's a perfect utopia, but I think there's ingredients we can put in to make everyone's world and city a better place.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's always room for improvements.
Always room for improvements. We're always learning, always testing. Cities always change. I think I was presenting yesterday and presenting that a city is a really kind of a living ecosystem. And it's always ever changing. I mean, technology changes, the city construct changes, the neighborhoods change, people that live in them change. But how do you kind of, make it evolve and make it healthy to live in as well? So, yeah.
And which city are you changing?
We're working across the globe at the moment. I mean, we're obviously working in New York, a lot of projects there. We're doing a lot of work in Cleveland, doing projects in Chicago at the moment. I'm doing a lot of work in the UK, in London and in Birmingham. We're doing 2 big projects out of Birmingham. I have a love for that city. I feel like I have to defend it. Birmingham, UK. Yeah, great city.
I've never been.
Yeah, and it's changing. It's one of these cities that's going through a bit of change. And there's a lot of development and a lot of foresight into changing public realm there as well. So it's a fun place to work in. It's there's kind of some weird similarities between it and Rotterdam. They're very kind of bold and ambitious cities. Their architecture is very kind of wild and out there. It allows us as designers to be a little bit more wild and out there with it. So they're both tough and kind of industrial cities.
Working class.
Working class cities, well, I should say Birmingham is less industrial, more about a working city. They used to be making jewelry and things like that, whereas this is much more of a port city. But
Yeah.
the toughness and the boldness and the kind of extravaganza in their architecture is similar. So yeah, it's interesting to be here and talk about that city as well.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, these days are also there not to just to talk about a utopian city, but really to grasp the solutions, like what is it we can do today that helps today and tomorrow, Is there within your work already examples or solutions that you've shared perhaps in your talk yesterday that people really need to listen to?
Yeah, I think I presented a bit on climate change and a bit of denialism on climate change, and I think whether you believe it or not, I mean, we thoroughly believe that it's happening, and we need to change systems to accommodate our cities and our landscapes to adjust to them. But the idea of, I presented one of our projects, Grunbaum Park, which is about water management and dealing with like resilient shorelines, using park systems that are both social, so people can come in like a traditional park and use it, and also used to like hold and clean water from the city. So, I think that's an important thing that cities need to really think about. How do we treat our open space as a piece of infrastructure, both social infrastructure and, water management and so forth. So I think that across the globe is something we have to deal with. Even it's a hot day today, was it 32 degrees, like the amount of heat, and just, when you walk up from the station, you see everyone just crowded underneath the trees looking for the shade, simple things like that, just giving shade and more comfort into a city and helping to kind of bring the temperatures down of a city. So I think these are all kind of aspects that we're trying to bring in, and we think that, and then what we're saying is nothing new and innovative. I think a lot of people talk about this and promote it, but the tough thing that we find is how do cities economically do it? How do you bring in a lot of green space? That does take a lot of management and maintenance, but how can they afford to upkeep those and to pay for them just to install them? And I think that's another challenge that cities are really doing. Yeah. I'd say that's kind of the biggest hurdle that I personally see working around the world for cities to deal with.
Yeah. The maintenance part costs a lot of money.
It costs a lot of money, but I think I think instead of looking at public realm as just a park, if you look at it as a piece of infrastructure, if you look at it as a piece of health, we're talking about the mental health aspect of it. And then if you invest, a lot of money gets invested into infrastructure, a lot of money gets invested into hospitals and health. But if you can cities can somehow grapple with, seeing the parks as a piece of health and a must for mental health, for physical health, and also as a piece of infrastructure, perhaps there can be a bit more money put to them to make the public realm greener and better maintained. Yeah.
But they're all long-term investments, right?
Very long-term investments, yeah.
Because they have an impact on climate, an impact on mental health, and on the well-being of the citizens.
Yeah, I think they're a forever investment, and I think they're important investments. And there's something that if you let go, they're very costly to bring back as well. So I don't have the answer to how the cities, because every city is very different into how they work economically, but I think it is something that cities need to think about beyond just being a patch of green grass and parkland.
Yeah. And what's your I'm getting distracted here by previous participants, She making a dance move now in the back? Yeah, probably. Maybe she is, eh? No, she is not. And what's your personal drive, or what's the impact you love making most in your work?
This is probably a bit more insular. I mean, I have to say, at field operations, I think the people I work with are probably the most inspiring thing. They're so talented. I mean, just this morning I was looking on our Slack channel, what they've posted or what they've been working on, just like it's amazing. And I have to pinch myself because I grew up in Canberra in Australia, went to a pretty simple University of Canberra, and then now get to work with, the best of the best in this firm, and, the smartest people, the most talented people. So for me, that every day turning up to the office or, just chatting to our staff is really, really inspiring. And then, I think, so that's the more insular. Living in New York and being able to travel to cities like London. I mean, New York is like this petri dish of amazing public spaces. We're talking about Bryant Park, which is kind of this very energized, 2-acre space in the middle of the city. So much happening. The High Line, of course. The High Line was a big inspiration for me trying to get a job for field operations. Brooklyn Bridge Park is another great example. I mean, Prospect
Did
Park.
they create the High Line?
What's that? Field Opera. We worked on the design of it. Yeah, along with DSR and Pete Udorfer, I guess, who's local Dutch garden designer. Actually, that was when I first traveled to New York in my 20s, many a year ago. Not going to tell you my age, but it was many a year ago. it was the first place I went to out of Australia, and I went into the MoMA, and there was a exhibition on the High Line, and it blew me away because I hadn't seen landscape architecture that could be like that. The reuse of the infrastructure, even just the visuals and the way the boards were put together, the model and everything. So I told myself I need to come back and work for that firm. Nothing was built on the High Line yet, but you could already see, how amazing the thinking of the firm was. And then, like, nearly a decade later, I traveled to New York and kept bugging them and finally got the job. So High Line for me is like this.
Almost like a dream come true.
Yeah, it was. And, I kind of expected to work for them for 2 years and then go back to Australia. And just loved it so much, again, the people, the type of projects, the inspiration that you get every day from that office environment.
How long has it been now?
16 years.
16
Yeah. 2 years turned into 16 pretty quick.
Wow.
Yeah. Haven't lost the accent, I hope, but
No?
okay, good.
No. You don't sound American at all.
No offense to Americans, but
Or is it off camera?
yeah. That depends who I'm talking to.
No, not at all. Oh, no, but beautiful. I mean, that energy is great, to be completely passionate about the topic, working with most of the talented people in perhaps in the industry, and working on the positive impact on a daily basis.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. I have to pinch myself a lot to where I've got to, and then even being able to go to festivals like this. Really people like yourself that are interested in city making and really talking to some inspiring people. I mean, the amount of great speakers here. It's really, 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 really awesome.
Is there something particular that you discovered from this festival that is something you take home?
There's always a lot.
On a particular.
I'm going to come back to you on that.
Okay, sure.
I just watched a pretty inspiring talk about Johannesburg, but and that was about equality of design and using community for design. But yeah, let me come back to you on that.
Okay, cool. No worries. The final question of every session is, of course, the good place question. I reckon you're in a good place from sensing everything you just said. So.
Well, as we're saying, so much beer o'clock, so always in a good place. And I have to be. It's like.
Can you, besides offering people beer, could you inspire others by taking this in a I don't know, train of thought on what can people do to create a good place?
Many things. I think using public realm. It's the first thing. Get out. We were talking about playing table tennis. Just to go out and be with your friends in open spaces. That's the best way to do it. If you're even sitting outside in a cafe or sitting underneath a tree, just hang with your friends in public spaces. Use your city, because that's what creates the energy of great public spaces. What creates the energy of the city. Get out, see it, go to museums. To kind of just be a part of it. Yeah,
Nice.
It'll help you, and it helps the city.
Love it. Didn't have that answer yet, but I love the answer. It's good. No, it's good. Because how you explain is why I want to live in cities.
Yeah.
Just because of that.
Yeah.
No offense, I don't want to live in a town or a suburb. No, I want to live in the city, just for that same reason.
Yeah. Can I ask you what's your favorite city you've visited, and why?
Oof. Good.
Check the questions back.
Yeah, no, you're the first. Finally, somebody asked me a question. It took ages. I have numerous cities. I mean, I love cities where no neighborhood is the same, but every neighborhood has like a fair distinction of different layers of society. So not too segregated. And I love cities with neighborhoods that where I feel a sense of creativity, things happening on the streets, an art gallery, an opening, like hustling and bustling, a city that feels alive. One that pops to mind, which is Madrid, but I also like Valencia. It's more southern, but same. I also love Berlin, for that matter.
Yeah.
And I used to live in Amsterdam, and I love Amsterdam, although Amsterdam has really changed. and sometimes it's too finished. And I love cities which are a bit unfinished,
Yeah.
where there's room for, if there's a hole in the wall and it's an entrance to a place.
Yeah.
In the Netherlands, it will be constructed, closed, neat, finished.
Yeah.
But I love it to be.
Yeah.
And I tend to seek for those cities.
Yeah, a little bit of chaos in them.
Yeah.
A little bit of chaos is healthy. Do you always, I mean, I'm going to ask this question because this is what I always think when I go to, do you always think like what, it's the difference between a city that you love to visit, but any of those cities, ones you would really love to live in?
Yeah, and actually those cities also would be places where I also would like to live in.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. But I used to live in Germany, so I get somehow that covered. But yeah, maybe Spain.
Yep. Speak Spanish?
Not yet. That's the reason. Well, I mean, I can order sandwiches, but and a beer. But I would love, to it would make feel complete if I speak fluent Spanish.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
Host these bench conversations in Spanish.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Yeah.
Okay, Matt, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All the way from New York, Australia through New York to Rotterdam. It was great to have Matt here on the bench. Appreciate it. I feel the excitement, and I hope you felt it as well. And next to this conversation, we have many more in the playlist. Go check them out if you want to be inspired on, the different ideas and solutions on how to create a good place. So from the bench, subscribe and like, please, and we'll be in touch soon. All the best. Take care. Ciao.